to my YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about endoplasmic reticulum. So this is how endoplasmic reticulum looks like. This is the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. In 1945, Porter, Claude and Fulham they first observed the presence of a network or reticulum-like structure in the cytoplasm of thinly spread cultured cells. So this network was concentrated in the endoplasmic region of the cell more than in the ectoplasm. So that's why it is called endoplasmic reticulum. Reticulum means network, endoplasmic means in the endoplasm. So that's why it is called endoplasmic reticulum. So it covers the 50% region of the cell. Now its discovery. It was discovered in 1902 by Italian scientist Emilio Veretti. Porter in 1945 showed through the electron micrograph the cells contain a lace-like network of strands throughout the cytoplasm. In 1954, Palade and Porter mentioned key characteristics of endoplasmic reticulum and ribosomes. In 1966, George Palade generated a transmission electron micrograph illustrating that endoplasmic reticulum is studded with granules, which are ribosomes. So in 1974, he further described the structure of endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex. Next is occurrence. So these endoplasmic reticulum, they occur in the eukaryotic cells except erythrocytes, that is RBC of mammals. They are absent in prokaryotes. Its development varies considerably in various cell types. Means the number of endoplasmic reticulum depends upon the activity of the cell. More the active cell, more is the number of endoplasmic reticulum and vice versa. It is small and undifferentiated in eggs and in undifferentiated embryonic cells. Means they are less complicated in undifferentiated embryonic cells and in eggs. Only a few vacuoles are present in spermatocytes and muscle cells, but they are highly organized in the cells which are synthesizing proteins and also which are engaged in lipid metabolism. Next is biogenesis of endoplasmic reticulum, means how they are generated in the cell, how their synthesis occur in the cell. So there are mainly two processes. First is multi-step process, second is from nuclear envelope. According to multi-step process, according to this process, there is synthesis of basic membrane lipid and intrinsic protein. After that, there occur addition of enzymes, sugars, and lipids in the process. But according to nuclear envelope concept, they said the endoplasmic reticulum is the evagination of the nucleus. That is its nuclear envelope. On one side it is attached to the nuclear envelope and on the other side it is attached to the plasma membrane. Next is structure of endoplasmic reticulum. As earlier I have told, the structure of endoplasmic reticulum is like a network of tubules which are connected at one side on the nuclear envelope and on the other side by the plasma membrane. They are not opening into the cytoplasm. Only the material which is synthesized within the endoplasmic reticulum is transported into the cytoplasm, that is in the form of vesicles, which I am going to discuss in the next slide. The next are components of endoplasmic reticulum. There are mainly three components in the endoplasmic reticulum. These are cisternae, tubules and vesicles. As you can see in the diagram, there are cisternae, vesicles and tubules. Cisternae. These are sac-like structures. They are unbranched and arranged parallelly, which are 40 to 50 micrometer thick. and they occur in liver cells, plasma cells, brain cells, and in notochord cells. Next are vesicles. Vesicles are round or ovoid structures. They are 25 to 500 millimicron thick in diameter. They are surrounded by a unit membrane. These are the vesicles which carry out the deformed material which is synthesized in the endoplasmic reticulum. With these vesicles, this material pass on into the cytoplasm. They are abundant in the cells which are engaged in the protein synthesis as in hepatic and pancreatic cells. Next are tubules. These are of diverse shape and are irregular in branching pattern. They are 50 to 100 millimicron in diameter. They are abundant in those cells which are synthesizing cholesterol, glycosides, and hormones. Next is perinuclear space. Perinuclear space is the space present between endoplasmic reticulum and nucleus. Next is types of endoplasmic reticulum. The type is on the basis of the presence and absence of ribosomes, granular structures. On this basis, there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, rough and smooth. Rough endoplasmic reticulum means they have ribosome on its surface, and smooth, they do not have ribosome on its surface. So smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they are mainly consisting of tubules. They mainly occur in the tubular form and does not have ribosomes. The tubules measure 500 to 1000 angstrom long irregular lattices. They are commonly present in those cells which are steroid synthesizing and lipid synthesizing. Their amount varies according to the activity of the cell. Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Its name depicts only which its appearance is rough. That is, it has the presence of ribosomes and it is mainly occurring in those cells which are protein synthesizing. Next is modifications of endoplasmic reticulum. First modification is sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarco means in muscles. Those endoplasmic reticulum which are present in muscle cells that are called sarcoplasmic reticulum. It was first reported by Verretti as delicate plexuses in skeletal muscles surrounding the myofibrils. They store calcium ion during relaxation of muscles. Next modification is ergastroplasm. There are various regions in the cytoplasm that are stained with basic dyes. So these are named according to their structure. They can be chromidial substances, basoplasm, ergastroplasm, and so forth. The term ergastroplasm was first given by Grimier in 1899 to those elements which are readily stained with the basic dyes. In nerve cells, these areas are called Nissal's body, mainly there that are the accumulation of ribosomes that are situated on the parallel lamellae. The enzymes of endoplasmic membrane. The main enzymes are stearase, NADH cytochrome C reductase, NADH diaphorase, glucose 6-phosphatase, and magnesium activated ATPase. So these enzymes have different important functions to perform. For example, synthesis of glycerides, metabolism of plasminogens, synthesis of fatty acid, biosynthesis of steroid, and ascorbic acid synthesis, glucose dephosphorylation, and so on. Next are functions of endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum, as it is of two types, rough and smooth endoplasmic, so both have different functions. Some functions are common between the both. So these are, they form the skeletal framework, they actively transport cellular material, the metabolic activities due to presence of different enzymes, they provide increased surface area for cellular reactions, and they help in the nuclear membrane formation during the cell